this is the Valley of Armageddon. This is the Galilee Mountains. This is Samaria, the land of Samaria, and this is the land of Judea. This is River Jordan, this is Jordan. This is the Dead Sea. This is Gaza Strip. This is Sinai Peninsula over here, and we are now here in Eilat on the bottom of the map, all the way down. Now we drive from Eilat to the north direction, east. It's on the right side, west on the left side, and we're driving all the way up to a place called Timnah. When you look from your map, from the bottom, the Red Sea, you see the Red Sea, and you see a place called Eilat. It's called the Gulf of Eilat. You go on the map like 10 centimeters up, and then you see the town, the place of Timnah. Timnah was mentioned in the Old Testament. Timnah, that the place where King Solomon, he built over there a copper mines, and he used to dig coppers in the copper mine in Timnah. Timnah, that the place where Cleopatra, she had a camps of slaves over there, and the slaves used to bring her all kind of coppers also from Timnah. So we're going to visit Timnah. We're going to visit a tent that was built by a group of very nice people, showing and teaching us how the tent of Moed, the tabernacle tent, was looked like in the time of the temple, and we're going to see it with all the explanation how it was looked like. So we're going to learn about it a lot. When the Israelites came from Egypt, they came along the Red Sea. Now why it's called the Red Sea? Did the sea can be red? Did the sea it's red? You saw the water. It's looked very blue, right? Now one of these British officers during the British mandate, he actually made a mistake. The sea is supposed to be called Reed Sea, not Red Sea. Reed. You know it's a reed. Now when this British came in and he looked, he said, no, reed. He said, where's the reed? No reed. So he said, because of the mountains, because the mountains over there called the mountains of Edom. And Edom, like the Edomians, Edom in Hebrew it's been red. So he thought maybe it's the red mountains. The red people, you know, that's the way those people used to be called in Jesus' time, in Moses' time, etc. So he said maybe it's called the Red Sea because of that mountains. So he called it Red Sea. Because of the mountain, it's not red at all, it's blue. Anyway, it's supposed to be called the Reed Sea because the Bible mentioned the Reed Sea. The Israelite Moses, remember, opened the Reed Sea, and then the way the Israelite crossed the water from Egypt, from Sinai, all the way to the Promised Land. So that's a mistake that somebody did long time ago, and because of that, till today, everybody called it the Red Sea. But now we all know it's a mistake, and we should call it the Reed Sea, Yam Suf in Hebrew. If I want to say Red Sea in Hebrew, I say Yam Adom. So in some maps we say Yam Adom, in some maps we say Yam Suf, which means reed, red, it's all names. Now, so we continue up to Timnah. Ladies, gentlemen, the first time that name of this land was mentioned was the time that God spoke to Abraham. Remember the story of Abraham? He walking in the desert in the land called Midian. Where is Midian, by the way, off the record? Midian is in the southern part of Saudi Arabia, which means it's somewhere not far away from Yemen. Saudi Arabia, Yemen. That is Midian, over there. Midian is not over here in this area. It's somewhere down there below. So Abraham actually was walking in the land called Mesopotamia. And Mesopotamia is the land between the two big rivers of Iraq, where Baghdad of today, that's the area of Mesopotamia. And Abraham was walking over there in this area, and all of a sudden he heard a voice, somebody talking to him. Now put yourself on his shoes. You walk in the desert, you are all by yourself, and all of a sudden you hear the deep voice said, hey, Abraham. You look around and say, who is calling me? You don't see anyone. And then the voice again louder said, Abraham. And Abraham said, yes, who is there? And the voice said to him, I am your God. That was the first time that God spoke to Abraham. And God said to Abraham, take your loved son Isaac Yitzchak, that's the way we call him. Yitzchak, Isaac. You know the meaning of the name Isaac? Yitzchak, it's to laugh. Because when Isaac was born, Sarah, she was laughing. She was laughing when she saw the birth of the child. She was so excited, she was laughing. And Abraham decided, that'll be the name I give him. Laughing. So if I translate the word to English, it's mean laughing. Imagine to yourself to call to your son laughing. But in Hebrew, it's a very common name, Yitzchak, Isaac in English. So he said to him, take your loved son Isaac and go to the land that I show you. Now think about it, folks. Think that somebody going to call you to your home and give you a terrible order and said to you, you got 5 minutes to pack up your house, to put everything in the luggage, and to go to the truck outside because you have to leave home to go to another country, to another land that you've never been there, that doesn't belong to you, that you're not part of that, with not your friends, with not your neighbors. I just take you to another land. What a terrible message. Because the voice said, leave your home. Go to the land that I show you. And over there, when you arrive to the land that I want you to be there, I want you to sacrifice the life of your son to me. Now guys, listen. Try to put yourself in the shoes of Abraham. Think that somebody calling you and telling you, I want you to sacrifice the life of your child to me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, how are we going? If that's going to happen to me, I'm going to look at my phone and throw the phone on the ground. Or say, wait a minute, I don't understand the message. Maybe the line is not good. Call me again. And that makes the difference between Abraham and us, because Abraham, trust of God was so big and so strong that he had no doubts. It's like Mary, Jesus' mother. When she was ordered by Angel Gabriel, said, Hail Mary, don't be afraid. God chose you among other women to marry to that man over there that he was so old and maybe even mean and doesn't look very nice, and he was look like who knows what. Don't forget, she was about 14, 15 years old only. She was a very young girl when she was ordered to marry to someone that was about 50 years old. I mean, today 50 is not old, but in those days, if you are 50, it's like today somebody in the age of 90. Don't forget, in those days, nobody, I mean, the average people lived 50 years maximum. So the message was very bad, and she had so much trust in God that she didn't have doubts, like Abraham didn't have doubts that God know what he's doing when he trusts God. So Abraham took his family and he left home. He went a long journey of 1,000 kilometer distance, guys. That's not a piece of a cake. That's not on a bus with air condition. It's on a donkey crossing a terrible hostile desert, and you saw the desert. It's not very friendly if you're by yourself. And when he arrived finally to that land, the voice said to him, go to the Mount of Moriah, or the way you say in English, Moriah. Moriah, it's come from two Hebrew words, Mori and Yah. You know, Jewish people, we're not allowed to pronounce the name of the Lord for no reason, right? I'm not allowed to use the name of God every time I feel like. Otherwise, God going to be something like, you know, like just a name. We cannot use it every day for no reason. We have 100 other names to describe God when we talk about Him, but His name, Jehovah or Yehovah, we're not allowed to use that for no reason. So the word Yah in Hebrew, it's the name of God. Yehovah is the same letter. So everything in Hebrew that finishes with the word Yah in the end, make attention that it's something to do with God's name. So he said to him, go to the Mount of